Chris Williamson, a real honourable, real Member of Parliament, Chris Williamson, my friend Lee Stranahan, who's come all the way from the United States, fellow speakers, organisers, friends. I'm honoured to be here. It's the first time I have seen this rather grim place, and I want to echo one point that Lee Stranahan just made. Truth and courage are behind those walls, behind those bars, personified in the great journalist and publisher Julian Assange. They said in the gutter press, in the Daily Mail, I think, that Julian Assange has hardly a friend left. Well, judging by my portals on social media and the number of people who have expressed to me that they wish they could have been here today, Julian Assange has many friends around the world. Rather more friends than the war criminals that he exposed, which led him here to Belmarsh prison. Julian Assange is a friend of all the free people in the world. Julian Assange is a friend to all those who want to know the truth in the world. Here we have a situation where the war criminals have all walked free. Not one of them is behind bars. Virtually not one of them even lost their jobs. Most of them went on to still more lucrative positions. And the man who did more than anyone else to expose their wrongdoing is behind bars. There are many criminals behind these walls, and most of them have much to be ashamed of. But Julian, you have nothing to be ashamed of. You are an honourable political prisoner. A political prisoner who has written his name in history and will be remembered, revered, respected long after these hyenas in the mainstream media who are micturating on your plight today. I believed that my feelings of hatred and contempt for our rulers and their chorus in the official and mainstream media could not deepen, could not be greater. But when I saw, and when I still see, even today, people who make their living from publishing, from journalism, dancing on what they hope is the grave of Julian Assange, words almost fail me. Because the entire purpose of journalism is to receive information, evaluate its truthfulness, and convey it to you, the members of the general public. And if that is to be a crime, then journalism itself is dead. Democracy itself is dead. Freedom itself is dead. And we might as well all deliver ourselves behind those walls, behind those bars.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Galloway. Thank you.
I'm not finished.
Yeah. Good.
The anti-Corbyn fifth column in the British Parliament like Pavlov's dogs, were quick to move. When Jeremy Corbyn, whatever it costs in public opinion, although now that he's stretching ahead in every opinion poll, maybe it didn't cost at all. But whether it cost or didn't cost, Jeremy Corbyn stood up for what is right in the Julian Assange case. And Diane Abbott, much reviled, did so even more. But when Pavlov's dogs moved, I naturally ran through their names, because I have history, you see, with most of them. And there I found that one of those demanding the incarceration of Julian Assange was Tony Blair's war minister in Iraq and the former head of NATO, Lord George Robertson, whom I've known since we were both young boys, actually. George Robertson was the Minister for War that killed 1 million people in Iraq and counting.
At least, yeah.
Cascaded Al-Qaeda and ISIS all over the world, including actually some behind those walls. George Robertson, as the head of NATO, should have been investigating the crime that Julian Assange exposed in the helicopter massacre of innocent civilians and journalists in Iraq. And now, Lord George Robertson wants Julian Assange behind bars. I wonder what he could have meant by that. I wonder what George Robertson has to hide from journalism, honest journalism about the war in Iraq. My eyes are streaming now. I will have to stop. I'm not actually crying because I'm feeling strong. Julian Assange is not crying because he is strong. Julian Assange knows that he did the right thing, the honourable thing. We know that we're doing the right thing, the honourable thing. And on the Judgment Day, Julian Assange will be able to face his Maker, sure in the knowledge that with every breath that God gave him, he tried to tell the truth to free people everywhere. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for listening.
Free Assange! Free Assange! Free Assange! Free Assange! Free Assange! Free Assange! Free